Hi guys, welcome to Mark Bayeski Crystals channel. How are you all doing? Are you enjoying the videos that I've been putting up? Are you learning? Are you experiencing? That's more to the point. Are you taking your crystal and working with it? Well, if you are, then why don't you underneath here post your experiences? And the reason why I say that, because I want to encourage people who can't get out and come to the Pure Energy Healing 4-day course in Canada or Spain. So if you can't get here, then why not let's create for you guys a wonderful workshop with everything that we post underneath all of these videos. Let's share our experience, share your crystal, share your feelings, share what you went through and what you did. By doing that, people will learn. It will become an almost a beautiful family that grow and learn. You know, there is nobody in this world exempt from not learning. Even a healer like me always is learning. The reason why is because the universe shifts and changes. The energy changes. If the energy is changing, then each single healing session we give is going to be slightly different. So we have to not think to ourselves, okay, the crystal does this, so now I don't have to worry and this is what it does. Not necessarily. The crystal will work in one way one day and then may change the way it works on your body because it's fixed a certain point and then it goes to another point. By sharing your information, what we can do is see quite clearly that a crystal may work in a certain way at a certain part of the body. And if that's the case, then you might be thinking, okay, I've seen that 5 or 6 times mentioned underneath here. Maybe what I need is a moldavite to help me elevate from where I am because I'm not growing as fast as I want to. Or, I'm struggling with grief. I really don't know how to get out of the grief. So, everybody's mentioning black tourmaline. It seems to be working. Or, I'm working so hard and I come home from work and the people at work are horrible and they make me feel bad, and a few people have mentioned Tektite, that it absorbs negative energy, and so on. So by doing that and reading the post below, you become a teacher, you become a student, and it's wonderful. You share your truth and you learn from each one of us on here, and that's how we should utilize this crystal beautiful video channel. So that's just one of the things. I want to share a crystal with you today, which I love very much. I don't know if I've shared this with you on this channel, but I'd like to talk about it today. And it's something that I find very, very beautiful. It helped me through a very sad point in my life when somebody moved into the light and called Brian. Brian is on my wall over there. Brian was a very beautiful man who moved into the light with cancer. It caught up on him very fast and went into a place where it was very challenging and it just spread very quickly. Brian was a beautiful soul, one of the happiest men I've ever met. And the one thing I loved about Brian is how much he loved his children and how much he loved his wife. It was so beautiful for me and so refreshing that he was, to me, he was the father that I wished I had. And that sounds really awful, but it's true. He was like, I used to see Sam and say to Sam, you've got the most beautiful dad in the world, and she'd say, I know. And that's the kind of guy he was. Helpful, polite, gentleman to the highest form. When he moved into the light and I was there through that time with the family, and I was so lucky to be there through that. And even at the last few weeks of his life, he would actually try and get up to make a seat for me, and he'd be saying, oh, get Mark this and do it, and I'd say, Brian, it's okay, because he was such a gentleman, so kind and always thankful, so wonderful. So getting through that for me, I had this crystal, and I'm going to show it you now. It's watermelon tourmaline, and if you look at it very carefully, you can see the green, which the green is of healing, and the pink, which is of comfort. These two beautiful colours combined not only look beautiful, as you can see, it looks beautiful, but it actually works in a beautiful way to help you transition from having somebody in your life that you loved, then they've disappeared and they're no longer here. But the beautiful thing about this crystal is not only does it help you on a physical, because when you have lost somebody that you loved, the grief that you feel can turn into physical. This crystal helps clear the grief, the healing process of the grief, which is obviously a very, very powerful and negative energy, needs to go. So it's a dispeller of negative energy, this crystal. It is a crystal that helps you release the pain and suffering from grief. It is a little bit like black tourmaline, but it works in a different way. It's more gentle and it's more of a comfort crystal. Black tourmaline is especially, in my opinion, for grief, when you are fully in that grief energy. For me, it wasn't as much the grief, because I know that Brian went to the spirit world and he's happy there and he's watching over everybody who he loved. But for me, it was the transition of, yeah, I'm gonna kind of miss him a lot, you know, and I just wanted to feel like, okay, I did my best and I want to move forward and feel happy again. You know, I don't want to wallow in the sadness of I'm not being able to see him again and say hi and listen to his stories. You know, working at the fruit and a flower market in, I think it was the centre of London, and all the stories that he used to share with me and things, and it was lovely. So I would say that this crystal is probably an amazing crystal for you to move forward from the grief. If you now want a happier life, if you want to feel more at peace, if you want to feel better in yourself, this is a great crystal for that. So let's move that aside and talk about this crystal's other beautiful energies within this crystal. The healing process of the physical body with this crystal is also pretty profound. If you have a child who is struggling with any kind of issue with chest or stomach, it's a healer and a cleanser for that particular area. If you wear it to your chest, your child's chest, it really does help heal. So forms of bronchitis, which is pretty bad, any kind of chest infections, anything to do with breathing, any issues with breathing, asthma, a really wonderful crystal that blasts an energy constantly in this area. And I saw great healing work done with this crystal with roundabout children between like 10 to 17. It would work for anybody else, but I'm only remembering the past of what I saw and literally saw the change in energy and how they were healed from this crystal. There's also another thing about this crystal that is really beautiful. If you are somebody who wants to connect to the spirit world, like if you believe in spirit guides, if you believe in angels and all that, I just believe in the universal flow of our spirit world. I believe that there's an energy there that we can connect to. This crystal is fabulous for putting on your third eye and just leaving there through the night, if you can, for half an hour when you meditate before you go to sleep. It is a very, very powerful but yet gentle opener and helping you attune to your higher senses that will connect you to the world that we sometimes see every now and again. So yeah, it's a great crystal. It really is. The other things it's good for is bladder as well. I always remember bladder infection with one of my clients. She wore it and it really helped her too. The other things, there's so much to talk about this crystal. This is where I'm going. Where am I being pulled to? I try and relate to certain stories that I remember. I had a piece of this which was actually quite a big piece, and I used to work with it probably for about a year. And as I work with it, I work with it with black tourmaline. And I think if you really are suffering from long-term grief effect that, you know, my mum died many years ago, but it still feels like today. If you struggle with that, then putting these two crystals together is a pretty awesome combination. I think that's it for now. I think that's good enough. 10 minutes with this crystal is good enough. I could probably talk a lot more about it, but in different aspects, and yeah, I've just got a flashback. If you're going to buy a piece of this beautiful watermelon tourmaline, for the first 3 or 4 weeks, I'd like you to do me a favour. I'd like you to wear it, and throughout the day, if you can, drink as much water as you can, okay? Because my feeling is flushing out the toxins and the negativity and the grief is really important, and water is the key. It's really one of the biggest keys of flushing it out. I know I've talked about this before, but it really is important. When a crystal is blasting energy of healing into your body, it is basically targeting what is known as very unusual energies, which we call blocks, okay? This energy vibrates at a vibration that is not in tune with our body, therefore it can cause physical illness. When your crystal is constantly blasting this wave of healing, that energy can wash out through water. And so when you work as a healer, and anybody will tell you the same thing, it's the same whether it's hands off, hands on, even down to a masseur. After you've had this energy work, you need to replace your body with water. So a really good practice with this crystal is to begin with, for the first 3 or 4 weeks, make it practice to drink as much water as you can, and you will see the benefits of this crystal and your healing process so much faster. And that's a promise. That's what I've seen. As a last note that's come to me as well, place the crystal underneath your glass if you can. If the glass has got a curve under, put it under there for 5 minutes. Let the crystal also send the energy to the glass of water, and then puts a beautiful memory into the water, okay? And then you drink that, and the memory goes into your whole system and then flushes out all the negativity. So you basically get a waterfall of healing water running through the body. That's it, guys. I only have a few of these on my website, which I've actually worked with personally for quite a while now, and I hope you enjoy the energy from them. So what you'll find on my website is you'll see there's a write-up exactly how I actually also worked with that crystal and placed certain energies which are slightly different to the crystal into that crystal, which makes it slightly different than any other crystal, and that's why they are called pure energy healing working crystals. Have a great day, guys. Thanks once again. Until tomorrow, enjoy your life. Take care. Bye.